Good morning, Flosstube friends. Welcome back. My name is Stuart, and this is Stuart's and Stitches. This is Flosstube number 32, and today is Sunday, the 13th of July, midway through July. And if you like hot weather, what a glorious weekend it has been, and still is. I'm looking out, I'm seeing blue skies. The Har is clearing. We're looking more towards the east, with a bit of the Har coming off the North Sea. But I can see it's beginning to break up now, and it has been a roaster the past 2 or 3 days. Friday I was able to sit out in the garden, but it was so hot I couldn't settle. I kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. Yesterday I just admired it from inside in the cool of the shade. I didn't sit out till, Caroline never sat out really till yesterday evening when our friends were round for dinner, our neighbours, and we started off with some drinkies in the garden before we had the nibbles in the house. I'm saying nibbles with a reasonably substantial dinner, but that was last night, and it was a lovely time had by all. Anyway, that's not what you're here for. We're here to talk about stitching. So that's what my channel's all about, stitching in one way or another. Either sewing, stitching, knitting, crochet, it's all the stitches. The odd book flung in for good luck every now and again, depending what I've been listening to. First of all, welcome. Thank you to all those who turn up each week. Lovely to spend some time with you on a Sunday morning. Always enjoy it. I hope you do. Well, I'm assuming you do as well, or you wouldn't be here otherwise, would you? To any new people who have found me, welcome aboard. It's lovely to have you with us. I hope you continue to enjoy what I'm sharing with you. And to those of you who maybe have just found me through search or whatever YouTube throws up in the sidebar, welcome aboard. If you do like what I'm sharing with you, please hit the like button, let me know that. Subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. I post weekly on a Sunday generally, and it's just mainly all about my stitching, what's been going on in the past week and what might be happening the following week. Like Jen said, fake plans. Although, I don't know why my stomach's rumbling, she's always stuffed for last night. I'm not sure if that gurgle came over. Anyway, that bodes well for later. We shall see. Right, that sidetracked me slightly, sorry, yes. You don't normally get gurgles on here, honestly, you don't. So, it's lovely to have all your comments. Thank you to all those who took time to comment on my last video. Enjoy going through them, seeing what you've been up to, and your thoughts and comments on any questions or queries I shared with you or had. Thank you for that, and just for your general support. It's much appreciated, it always is. And please, as always, do drop a comment underneath this one with what you're up to, what you've been stitching on while you've been watching me, and anything else, any questions you want to ask me. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Let's hope that's the only frog in the house today. And if you want to interest me through any other means, there's always email, which is stuartsandstitches@gmail.com, and Instagram, Stuarts and Stitches, where I generally post on a daily basis with both my temperature stitching and my Saga Whip Into Shape challenge stitching, which we'll talk about in a wee bit. And sometimes I'll post what else I've been working on that day. Although in general, of late, I seem to be more kind of saving that to the weekend to share with you on here. Although the Sal I'm working on with Elaine at Ellie Welly Stitcher, I did post that quite regularly on Instagram, so I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Right, so what are we talking about today? So we've got some whips to talk about. So there's temperature stitching, there's Saga, and there's the other whips I've been working on. There's a couple of things off my shelf of surprises, which continues to surprise me. I was having a rummage through it the other day, and I thought, oh, I didn't know I had that. I then put it back, and I'll probably forget all about it for the next year or two. A wee bit of haul. There's an unboxing to share with you, a wee chat about bags, maybe some plans for what's coming up in the coming week, which that may emerge as we go through. I'm not sure yet, because in my head I'm not quite sure what's happening this coming week. It's a quiet week for us at home, the dad. We look at the calendar downstairs. It's looking fairly free at the moment. Next week, the following week's a bit more interesting, but I might talk more about that next week. We'll see. And I think that should keep us going for a good wee bit of time. Oops, somebody decided to rattle up their car engine. I can just see them getting the seat belt on, getting ready to head off to wherever they're going next. So, without further ado, let's start with the temperature stitching, shall we? So there was one day I didn't do temperature stitching. I don't know what happened on Tuesday. I think I was busy making bags for people or something like that. I know I was busy doing stuff, and that might have occupied me. So there was no temperature stitching on Tuesday, and Saga I didn't do on Tuesday, but I carried forward to make up my stitching on Wednesday and Thursday, so it got its due number of stitches, so we were all good there. So in no particular order as usual for my temperature stitching, I'll just grab the first one that's lying down here. There we go. So my temperature stitching is... I'm going to pause and close the windows because I think if there's some street noise you're going to pick it up and you might not like that so much. Hang on. And we're back. Yes, so for my temperature stitching, I have 10 projects assigned 0 to 9. Whatever the day's high temperature is per the BBC weather app, pick your own app of choice. Then the high of that day, the last digit of that number, tells me what piece I'm stitching on for that day. Double digits, I take the last digit. Single digits, problem solved. There is no query as to what might be getting stitched on that day. So, these are in no date order, it's just whatever the pile is sitting beside me as when I lifted them out of the basket. The first one I've got in my hand was for Monday. It was Teresa Wentzler's Above the Clouds, which got approximately 100 stitches. I say approximately, this one's not in pattern keeper or anything, so it's roughly, I'll do about an hour and assume 100 stitches was put in. It might be, it might not be, but there was progress, which is the main, that's the whole point of it. So, this is a kind of smaller version of her very famous one, the castle, with the dragon circling a castle. This also is a dragon circling a castle, but a much smaller version of the same. But equally as complex in its blends and its fractionals and backstitch and all the good stuff you associate with Teresa's charts, which make them also beautiful. And that's the key. You see that? See all those blends? Yeah. That's what makes them fun. If you're into that sort of fun. That's the actual basic thread palette, of which, I don't know, there's maybe about 20, 25 colours there. But then you've got all the blends from those colours to actually make the beauty that is the stitching. So I keep my blends on a serial card. When I've created the blend from whatever 2 threads I'm using, whatever's left over from that section I'll just put in I've got a serial card. It's like the old the Loran project cards serial box. This was Shreddies or something like that by the look of it. And punched holes and drew symbols. And it works for me. So, so I've been working over in this section here, just building up here from the bottom of the tail there. So it's coming on very well. I like it. I'm enjoying it. This is a nice piece of fabric from Stephanie, hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie. It's a 28 count Monaco called Ceridwen. It's even weave, and it's looking good. And so it's all the called fors, and it's 2/2 on that. So that came out for one day. That's in one of my bags. I do like making a bag. That can get tossed aside for the time being. Right, next one up, Fall Fairy. Very well known Dimensions Gold kit. This came out last Sunday, I think it was, yes, last Sunday. To get 126 stitches of some sort or other in it. You know yourself with the Dimensions kits. It could be full cross, half cross, 6 stitch, 6 threads, 2 threads, upstairs, downstairs in my lady's chamber. You know the drill. That's what she's going to look like. I'm up here. And let's see what it looks like. Well, I know what it looks like. Let's show you what it looks like. Now it's I'll get it out. There's a needle up top, but don't worry about that. There we go. So I'm just filling in across this way. So I think I was filling in the tree and some of the blue and the leaves. But I'm really enjoying that. This will keep coming out until I've finished this quadrant that I'm on. So I'm very pleased with that. So that's on the provided 16 count fabric. Sorry, a wee silent bit there. I was thinking back to my school days when I said quadrant there. I was remembering 4 quadrants in maths for I think it was trigonometry. It's all as A, C, T, S, I think it was. So all were positive, cosine positive, tangent positive, sine positive. How many nightmares is that triggering for you? Anyway, that got 126 of some form of stitch for Sunday, which was 15. Today's boding well at 23. Yesterday was 27, as was Friday, I think. Oh my god. I was not built for that. I can tell you one thing though, I'm so glad I lost weight this year, because if I hadn't lost that weight in the first 5 months of this year, this weekend would have been absolutely unbearable, I fear. So it was warm, and last night was fun trying to sleep. A warm night was had. However, things will cool down during the week, so that's alright. Swings and roundabouts. Can't complain. So, what's next up? Catching rays. So this is a full coverage piece from the Cross Stitch Studio. Let's get the tablet to hand. So this is a piece of art by Abraham Hunter. It's my biggest full coverage piece. It's 1200 by 900, given 1,080,000 stitches. Don't forget that 80,000. It's very important. It's got 134 colours, and one day, hopefully this side of eternity, it will look like that. Stunning piece of art. Let's hope I can do it justice. My stitching Betsy certainly did in her charting, let me tell you. So we have a bedspread. Let's see if I can find the bit that I was working on. Here we are. I'm going to see if I can get it without having to unravel the full fabric. It saves a lot of hassle for me. And it's all about me. As my husband keeps telling me, it's all about you. Aye, right. Right then. Here we are. So just working up this diagonal. So I think when I get to the top of the diagonal, which should be up there somewhere, I'll probably put this away. I've done a bit on it, but nowhere near a lot in the grand scheme of things. It's I'm just looking at my tablet here. What, 4,718 stitches you're seeing there with the parts threads in it, and that amounts to 0.44%. We're even at 1%. The target, I should really make the target 1%, but we'll see. We might do that. Actually, there's no harm in it. I don't mind it staying out. It's stitching. I love the stitching. We all know we love the stitching. So that's been stitched 1/1 full cross on a piece of 25 count even weave. It was a restart because I had started it on 32 count and I was doing a 1/1 full cross, and I did not like that experience in the slightest. So I decided to cut my losses and change, so I did. And I'm so pleased, because otherwise I would never have got picked up again. I wasn't that far in, and I think I'm now past where I was on its predecessor, so that was alright. And that got, I don't know what I got, I forgot to write it down that day. I'll be on my Instagram, which is where you're sitting. I can't actually check that because I'm looking at you just now through it. Well, through my phone, which holds my Instagram. So we shall just have to guess. It'll be 100 and something or other anyway, I know that. Right. Next up was Cardinal Kin. This is a Plum Street sampler piece. Paulette at Plum Street. Very talented designer. Looks like that one day. Lovely cardinals. I do like cardinals. I love the red cardinal. This is coming along not bad at all. We've just finished Mrs. Cardinal. I've just put a couple of white bits in her and do her eye. and I'm just doing the leaves rounder at the moment. So we're filling in, I think this week I was doing that, and that over there. There's a wee baby to come in up here somewhere, and then the top border, a bit more snowflakes here and there. You'll see them clearly on there, but I can't when I look at it. So, and that will get turned into a wee cushion. So I'm very pleased how that's coming on. It's a lovely, lovely piece. That's been stitched on a 32 count piece of fabric from West Greenloft Yarns. I'm looking at the label in my bag here. And using the called for threads, is a mixture of Classic Colourworks and DMC. 2/1. No, that's not true. 2/2. And here's the thread palette. So there's two colourways for it. There's a muted and a less muted. I think I'm doing the less muted one at the moment. But that's the threads for both colour schemes. So I'm happy with that, the progress on that as well. I'll probably keep that going till it finishes actually. We're kind of not nearly there, but we're a fair step down the road to be in there. Won't matter to put the chart back in. I don't want to separate chart from project. There's a nightmare just waiting to happen. Right, now the last piece. Oh, what did that get this week? Cardinal Kin. That was Thursday when the heat wave started, and we had a 22 on Thursday. Aye, 22. We got 105 stitches into Cardinal Kin. So good progress. As usual, I was able to stitch every day this week, which is always a good thing. Keeps me happy. Right. The last thing I want to show you, that's something else for later if I remember. I need to remember to turn around later on again and have another look. If you remember I talked to you about Supernatural last week, that I'd got to the bottom of the border on both sides, but I couldn't get it to match up running across. So after some very thorough, very boring checking of what I'd done, I found my mistake. And it's away up at the top of the design. So I thought, there's no way I am frogging all of that long border on the side up to the top. That's just not going to happen. So I had to do a bit of frogging. So I did the frogging on Friday and I did the fudging yesterday. I have fudged. Hand up to it. There was no way that border was getting unpicked. I would sooner just throw the project aside. So here's what it's looking like at the moment. I do love the lettering at the top. And those ends now line up. I am very pleased to say. And I only know it's fudged because I did the fudging. I don't think it's that clear where it's fudged. I think I'm going to get away with it. And the boxes for the supernatural characters that appear inside, they don't particularly line up with the what's going on in the border. They sort of relate more to each other in the lining up. So as long as I count off the border that I know is correct for the start of one, then I'll be all good. Oops, sorry, it keeps moving. So this is being stitched in a piece of something. Oh, there it is. Hang on, I've got the threads here. This has been stitched on a piece of old mushroom from XJ Designs, 32 count Belfast linen, 2/1 called for. There's the called for. I think these are CXC I'm using for it. And the CXC black is tremendous because it's that slightly bit fluffier because it's a polycotton. It gives excellent coverage, so I'm delighted with that. So happy. So that can now go back into the rotation to get worked on. So I didn't count the stitches and that. I did one day when it came up, I thought I'll do the frogging and put it away. And then the next day it came up, I thought, well, right, I'll do the fudging. So I did and put it away. So that's now all good. So that can sit down there. That's ready for action again. So that's my temperature stitching for the week. So that's not bad at all. Very happy with that progress. Saga. So this is a Long Dog sampler. And it's a stunningly gorgeous one. Well, they all are they not? Those of you who do long dogs, I'm sure you all agree, there's not a bad one to be seen. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count linen, 40 count country mocha linen from Zweigart, I'm using Silks for You, 1 strand over 2, it's a PRO34, it's a lovely red. And tablet time, where is it? Here we are. So for those of you who don't know what Saga is, where do you even live in? What's rock? It'll be lovely and cool, I'll give you that. Right, here we are. That's Saga. I'm down in the bottom there, working my way across that arch, which is coming together very nicely. I'm absolutely loving the detail that's coming through in this. I'm only putting in about 100 stitches a day on this, but oh, see what you get out of that. Tremendous. So at the moment this is sitting at 7,913 stitches, or 7.55%. Now that's with the importing error that you get sometimes a long dog. There are rows duplicated at the page breaks coming down the chart, but I'm not going to try and uncount that. I'll just take what the pattern keeper's telling me. I just know to be aware when there's a page break that there might the 2 rows that it shows on either side of that page break, I only stitch one of them. And that's fine, I know that now, so that's all good. Why am I doing this, you might ask? Because I love my stitching. This one is inspired by Andrew's marathon schedule, Andrew the runner stitcher, who's training for a marathon. He's running the Sydney Marathon in August, at the end of August. He's doing his training in New York, and he did one of his long runs yesterday, which apparently humidity in New York was like hell on earth, but the boy persevered, and well done to him. I will never, ever train for a marathon. Oh, the very idea. Just, oh no. However, I'm more than happy to support him with my stitching. That's much more my thing. I might even eat a marathon. Again, showing me age. Marathons are now Snickers. Why did they change the name? I like Marathon. Marathon and Mars bars. Oh, delectable. Delectation in a bar. Anyway, sorry about that. So he, to run alongside in parallel. See what I did there? Run alongside in parallel with his training. He asked the community to join him and support his Whip Into Shape challenge, which that's his hashtag for it. He has a spreadsheet that he shares with us, and he records his training on that. So he has a couple of rest days a week, but then every other day he's running. And the basic premise is for every mile he runs, you do 10 stitches, or you stitch for the amount of minutes it took him to run that day. So if he ran for half an hour to do his 3 miles, then you stitch for half an hour, or you do 30 stitches. I don't go out of bed for 30 stitches, so I do 100 stitches every day he runs. So whatever day Andrew's running, I'll put at least 100 stitches into Saga. And on his rest days, I take a wee break as well. That break is as good as a rest is as good as a change, as they say. So I'll link the video where he talks about that down below, and you can go and have a look if you're not already joining in. A lot of folk have joined in, and Andrew keeps sharing posts on Instagram of all the people. It's lovely seeing all the different whips people are doing. So as I say, my one is Saga, and I've wrapped it long enough not even showing you the piece yet. You'll be wondering, okay Stuart, enough of the gassing, more of the stitching. So here we are. Isn't it wonderful? So I've been filling in along here, basically. So I think last time you saw I'd finished these. So I've been filling in this here, filling in this space, coming along, and I'm now starting just the mirror image of that going down to come down here, and then ultimately fill in this post on this side. So we're getting there. When I started this, I was only to about there. I'm putting in 100 stitches or so a day since Andrew started this training. When was that? Was it the 1st of May, I think? Start of May, anyway. I have done loads, and it's so good. I love the detail. I just love it. Oh, the star we've got here, and all the kind of leaves dropping off the archway, the detail in the arch. Oh, beautiful. I do like it. Can you tell I'm almost in love? So there we are, that's Saga. Coming along very well, very, very happy with that. So that, I think today's a rest day today for Andrew, so they won't get any stitching. Temperature stitching, the high's looking like 23, so that's, that'll be Blue Moon Fairy from Lavender and Lace, so you'll see that next week, all being well. So, what's next in the dance card? The whips, the other whips that I worked on this week. So, at the start of the week, I continued with the stitch along I mentioned earlier. This is Away We Ride from Blackbird Designs. I had kitted this up after my stash ban finished in May. At the end of May, I kitted this up from 123 Stitch. And I was talking about it, and Elaine clocked it. I was talking about it, Ellie Welly Stitcher, and she messaged me and said, "Oh, I've got that. We could start that together, couldn't we?" I said, "I'm sure we could, aye." So we read on the 1st of July. So this got about 8 days worth of attention from me. This is the design. So it's spread over, oops, and you nearly saw the back page there. I was opening up. The bottom part of it is on the back, and then the rest of it is inside. So my challenge to myself was to get the bottom part all done. So when I picked up again, I'm ready for the inside, and I did exactly that. So, storing this in a bag that I showed you last week. This is a bag from Nicola at Hands Across the Sea. Well, the panel came from Nicola at Hands Across the Sea. I cut it all out and stitched it all together and did the binding, and hand sewed the binding on the back. Go me. So I do like it. I like the colours very much. I mean, I wouldn't have chosen an American patriotic design deliberately because I'm Scottish, but nonetheless, I do like the colours, and I think the design itself is very good. It's very effective, and I love this stripe in the board and the binding. Right. So this has been stitched on a piece of 28 count a fabric of the month from Kate at Sparklies. Kate doesn't name her fabrics for the month, they're just a fabric of the month for a particular month, and as long as you keep the label you can go back and request if you like it. I did, so I've now requested a fat half of this because it is so nice. And here's where there's a couple of trailing threads for when I next pick this up, which I'm sure you'll ignore. So here's where we are. So I finished, I think last time you saw I'd finished along the border, so I've done up the sides now, and I've done the inside border, and I've done all the lettering at the bottom, which says to find the home of the Wicked Witch. So in all of that, I've only used 2 colours so far. Thank you to the lady who warned me about Garden Gate from Gentle Arts. So when I come up to the house, I'll keep an eye on that and make sure there is some contrast. If not, I'll do a wee bit of substitution. I'm very pleased how that's come along. So I'd say that's 28 count linen, I think this is. Let me just peer. Is it linen or even weave? Well, there's times it's hard. I think this is linen. 28 count, and it is 2/2 full cross. I'm just peering over, make sure you can see what I think you should be seeing. Very pleased that I really enjoyed working in this, and it will be being picked up again very soon, hopefully. Yes, I have other things I need to stitch, don't we all? I used to be a monogamous stitcher many years ago when I first started out. I didn't realise there was any other way. I thought you had to stitch a piece and you couldn't start another one until you'd finished that one. Oh, how mistaken was I. Facebook trotted along, stitching groups trotted along, Facebook trotted along, and my stash just went woo. Right, so that was that. And the last piece to share with you, oh, where's the picture? Hang on, hold a second. And we're back again. The last piece I worked on this week, and will probably continue on for a few days this week as well, is Letters from Mermaids by Nora Corbett, and it is the letter E for the wee lassie living next door to us. This will be, when it's finished, will be turned into a wee cushion for her. Nice wee piece. It's got the usual, well, it's not the usual actually, it's all over dye threads and then all the beads. So I'm doing this on a piece of opalescent 32 count fabric from Jodery. And here's where we are. It's on my scroll rods. So I've just been working. I was worked up here a bit, filled in there, and started taking this along here. I know it is about 32 count on me, and especially it's opalescent, but see, trying to get my stitches to lie neatly. Ooh, there was an eyeball roll going on there. However, once you get all the stitches round it as well, it does kind of fall into place, thankfully. But pleased how that's coming along. I love the bright colours. It stands out well in that fabric. So we're halfway up the E, and we're nearly at the length of the piece at the bottom. I was talking about doing the border bits. Put that down, it's getting heavy in my arm. Doing the border, or not doing the border rather. So take that there is all just back stitch up in the. So I'm not going to bother doing that. I was thinking I'm just going to, these bits at the corners are just some cross stitch and beads. So I think I'll put them in. But I'm not going to do all that back stitch round, I've decided. So thank you for your comments on that. As always, very helpful. And these are the overdyed threads we're using for it. Something fell out. Oh, that's a black from someone else. So looking nice, aren't they? Nice colours. So I think she'll be very happy with that come Christmas morning when she opens it up. Right. That's all the whips that have been worked on this week. Nothing finished, but nothing new there. But finishes happen. I was talking to Jason at Jason Cross Stitch during the week about this. I was saying I'm very much a process stitcher. Finishes, we all like a finish, but for me it's all about the stitch. And I get a finish, that's a bonus. But I've got that many whips. Finishes come and go, but whips remain. I feel I'm misquoting something from somewhere. Right, let's have a look at the shelf of surprises. So there's a couple of nice pieces to look at here today. I just put my hand in and grabbed. And whatever came out is what you're getting to see. So we have Audrey today. So Audrey is Christmas in London from Nora Corbett. This is a oldie but a goodie. What number was this? 136 from 2014. It's quite a busy design. I've seen it stitched on Facebook before, so it doesn't look quite as cluttered as it does there. I've still not started it. I can't remember when I bought this. I think it was during lockdown probably, so it's somewhere in the last 5 years. It's a stunning, stunning design, as always. And oh my, beads and then beads. That's quite the bead pack. So that's all I've got for. I don't have anything else for you. I have no fabric and it's not kitted up. There's no fancy threads in it either, so that's good. So I've got the huge bead pack, because there's quite a list of beads going on there. That column there is the embellishments. Is that right? No, that column there, sorry. That one there is the embellishments. So that's going to be fun. I don't mind, I like beading. So this will definitely be stitched in 28 count something at some point in the sweet by and by. So that'll be fun. Another fancy lady some point to start. Aye. So that's good to know that's in the shelf. And then there's one, this I bought from eBay a while ago. It's Florentina. It's the one with the white cat. Amanda, you must have seen this at some point. Because it's like Alba. Lovely. It's a lovely. I've always liked that one. It's like one of the queens sitting on her perch or pedestal. I was talking to queens. I've been watching Victoria on Netflix. Oh my, that is so good. I knew not a lot about Victoria apart from on the throne for a long, long time. But oh, it's such a good series. Really enjoyed that. So digression there. So that's her. And it came with threads and beads. And as I recall, this was relatively cheap. And I thought, oh, I'll snap that up. So that's the bead pack. There's not that many beads in this one actually. A couple of colours of beads and a couple of some treasure, which I think is in the cat collar. So there's those. And it came with the threads, but the threads are Chinese by the look of it. That's they. So the colours are right. So I might give them a go. I've got the key things. I've got the chart, and I've got the embellishments. So we'll see what I make of these threads. When I start eventually, I'll maybe have a try with one or two of them and see what I make of them. If not, I'll go back. I'll either use DMC or Royal Broderie. We shall see. I need to get the metallics for it, and the water lilies, of which there are a legion. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 water lilies and 2 cranics by the look of it. So that's alright. I'll just have a word with my favourite supplier at Arts and Designs and see what they can do for me on that. So that's what fell off the shelf into my hands today. I mean, these won't be getting started anytime soon. They've sat there for long enough and they're quite happy, so they can continue sitting there till I feel the urge to start one of them. But they are there. They're to hand. So that was the shelf. So, haul is next. What have we got in haul? Oh, quite a few wee things to share with you. We're going to put in this, and we can go down there as well, going back through to the other room. Right. Oh, first off the bat in the haul is clip frames. What are you talking about, Stuart? What are you talking about? I'm talking about these babies. I've seen these before, and I saw Andrew using one as well for his Mill Hill, and I thought I must actually see if I can find these. Now, I had seen them in Etsy from a Ukrainian store, which I think is where the same store these actually came from, but they were supplied from an organisation in the UK, whose name I shall talk about in a second. So I bought this for my Mill Hill kits primarily, and that, as you can see, that just fits in there nicely. I've got a nice working space, and I'll just shunt it along when I need to. This is a button and beads kit. It's the Haunted Mansion from the Autumn series. That one. So I'm using everything called for in DMCs. This isn't a whip from this week. Oh, hang on, you're seeing through it. That might make things a bit better. There we go. But it was what I hunted out to make sure this is good. I had measured it beforehand, but when it came, I just wanted to make sure it was what I hoped for. So it couldn't travel by itself, so I got 2 more. I've got a smaller and a bigger, and I think there's another size you can get as well. So I got those. These came from a shop in the UK, and I don't know if this is a particularly Scottish thing for the understanding of the name of the shop, or if it's UK wide. Hobby Jobby. I had to actually draw breath before I said that and try and not giggle like a schoolboy. Yes, the shop is called Hobby Jobby. I won't tell you what that word actually means in where I am. However, it's enough to make me giggle, and can't believe a shop is called that. Use your imagination, or Google will be your friend, but not at work. So they came this week, and I think they're brilliant. I mean, it's a good strong grip as well. That's going nowhere. It has a grip on there, but it's not piercing it at all. It's just magnets. Hang on, let me take one off. Those wee tiny magnets. So brilliant. It does the job. It does what it says in the tin. And you don't have to match up; it matches itself up even better. So they came. So that was a good thing. Right, what else do we have? Right. So my Cosmo threads arrived this week for Hannah Atwood. So Hannah Atwood, hang on. I manoeuvre things around here till I get them off from the chart that I've got them clipped to, because I haven't got this into a bag yet. Right, I thought I'll save it till I've shown you. So these are the Cosmo threads that match up to the DMC that Michelle at Mama Loves You GB had charted. So nice colours, and I thought I want to do this in Cosmo, because Carl got me a lot of Cosmo at Christmas and for my birthday. I haven't cut that thread there, sorry, I'm just fiddling with, in case you're wondering what's he up to now. But off all the Cosmo threads I had, not one of them matched the conversion for this, so I went and bought some more, as one does. So there we go, that's it. So a nice set. Michelle, if you're watching, I hope you approve of my conversion. I think it's come out quite nicely. So I'm going to stitch this. I'll show you what it is I'm going to be stitching in a second or two, but I'm going to stitch this on that, which is, I think is quite nice. I think that'll look alright. Which is a nice Greenloft hand-dyed yarn. It's a fabric of the month called Pemberley, 32 count. So I'll be stitching that 2/2 on that. And Hannah Atwood is this lovely beauty. Nice border and lovely motifs inside. Hannah Atwater 1832 from Mama Loves You GB over on Etsy and on our Flosstube. Michelle's always got something interesting to show in our Sunday briefing and things to talk about. Go and give her a watch if you don't already. So at the moment, I have this in a Polly Pocket just now, so I'm just clipping my ring to the Polly Pocket at the moment so as they live together. And I'll just drop the fabric inside the Polly Pocket. Then I know that everything I need is there. There it goes. Right. And the last bit of haul that I want to share with you is from Pauline at Sobe Bags over on Instagram. Pauline does all sorts of goodies for us stitchers. She does bags, primarily bags, various other bits. You'll see them on our grid on Instagram. And the last time she posted, she had retreat mats. And I thought, oh, I quite fancy the idea of that. So I thought, oh, I'll have one of those. Thank you. So it comes. It folds up into thirds. Although when it's filled with something, you can probably do more or less. You can have it in half probably. So it comes like that. A nice bow. Nicely bound as well. And when you open it up, you've got a nice mat to put on your table. You've got nice 3 pockets down here, Pauline's trademark lace trim. And it's a nice 3 deep pockets, plenty of space there. A nice kind of thread bed going on, or something to like a needle thing. And there's this side. There's something to hang your threads from, and it's nicely quilted as well. There's a good sized piece of fabric you're getting there. And then there's a thread, an ort catcher as well, which just snaps together. And there we are, there we have it in matching fabric. So I can use that for my days away. Very nice, thank you Pauline. I shall enjoy using this. So I'll put that back in there. So it's a very handy piece of kit to have. There we go. Happy with that. I'll just fold it all up. Tie it in a bow. I feel like a song from Oliver coming on now. I'm sure it's a song in Oliver about boxes and bows. Right, so that came. Now, so that was shelf, haul, and unboxing. So, Sue, one of the lovely ladies at Historical Sampler Company, which also run Cotton and Twine, asked if I'd like a monthly box. And not being one to the gift horse in the mouth. Yes, please. Thank you so much. So, true to her word, the July gift box arrived. Oh, and what a gift box it is. She said when she sent it to me, she says, you can either keep this for yourself or you can give it as a giveaway. I thought, there's nothing getting given away here. This is all for me. Yeah, all me. So, it comes in a nice box, sturdy, nothing going wrong there, nothing happening there. And inside is this lovely paper, which when you then unfold, it opens up. and you see all the goodies. So you're saying to yourself, what are all the goodies, Stuart? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I'm just about to show you. So we've got some sweeties, some sour watermelons. Carl's already got his eye on these. So get your hands off till I've shown this. So they might disappear later today. And then we got a tea bag, classic everyday fair trade tea from Clipper. Got a nice wee notions pouch for pretty little things. Even says so. So that's nice. That's when I can get into the bloody thing. Oh, I need to take this tag off. That's what's wrong, which I will play with in a wee while. Oh, there we go. Success. So it's just a wee notions pouch. We've got a tag hanging off it, and nice wee bag. It feels nice and sturdy, so that's good. Then we get the design, which is a lovely bee one. Busy as a bee, my needle and me. It's very sweet. And it comes with, I think this will be 32 counts. Aye. It's either 16 count aid or 32 count linen. I suspect for me it'll be linen. It is. Nice piece of Saga, nice kind of neutrally piece, and the threads all sorted. Nice colour palette and needle. So everything you need there to get started. And when you finish, there's even somewhere to put it. You get the nice frame. So we could have a fully finished object in my future. So that was good. So if you're interested in signing up to this, I'll link it down below. Now I think, I'll need to check my emails, but I think Sue sent me a discount code as well to use when you're making your order. I get nothing from it, so there's nothing coming to me, don't worry about that. I just get the joy of the box, which is fine for me, that's all I need. But if you want to use it, it'll be in the comment box in my description notes below. I'll come to upload the video. Oh, the frog bounced in my throat again. So have a look at that. Now they've also started the pre-order now, or they're going to be starting the pre-order for the Advent box, which proves to be very popular. You've seen a few folk, including myself, posting about that on Instagram. So if I remember, I'll link that down below as well for you. You can go and have a look if you want to sign up to get notified when pre-orders are available. So, thank you, Sue, for that. I'm very happy. Now, how are we doing for time? Nearly 50 minutes, that's alright. Right, bags we're talking about next. So, I made a couple of... I think I got rid of 3 bags this week, one way or another. I did. So, I'll put pictures of them when I'm editing. So I say edit, all I'm going to do is insert a couple of pictures on there and there, probably. What timestamp is that at? 48:26. So last week I forgot to go do the timestamps, I had to go scrolling. 48:26 bags, which means cotton and twine stuff just before that, that's fine. Okay. So I'll insert pictures there, and I finished making another one for myself from Nicola's Fabric. So this is for sampler Queen of the May, which is Elizabeth Stevenson this year. But there was a matching panel to make a bag with, which I thought, oh, I like that, I'm having that. So I did, and I made it. So again, it's exactly the same. Cut out everything, put it all together, and sew the binding on the front and hand stitch it on the back, which I did sitting outside in the garden in the heat. So there we go. So in here lives Elizabeth Stevenson. And what does Elizabeth Stevenson look like, you may say to yourself? Well, again, I'm so glad you asked. That is what Elizabeth Stevenson will look like, which is the same as the panel on the front of the bag. I'm stitching this in a piece of 40 count kind of cream coloured linen from Saga, and I'm using the SWA 103s for this. So as you see, I made a wee start down in the corner. I did this up a few weeks ago, so you'll see it before, but it's worth showing again. The silks are lovely to work with, they just glide through the fabric. If you've never used SWA 103, oh, give it a go. It is a treat. So that's one strand of silk over 2 on 40 count. So that now lives in there quite happily, and they're sturdy. The fabric is lovely. It's very sturdy. It's quite heavy. So that's that. So that was my bag making this week. So plans for the coming weeks. So I'll continue on with temperature stitching Saga as per. We'll also do a couple more days on Aleri's letter E. And then I might take a break and pick up something else. I don't know what that something else is yet, to be honest. If something doesn't spring to mind or come shouting at me, I'll maybe just continue with that E, see if I can batter it on through to near a finish in the stitching. I mean, it's doable. It's not that big a piece, to be honest. So there's nothing hindering me. So let's see how I feel during the week. It's getting cooler during the week. Thank the Lord for that. Bring on the winter, the cold and the frost. Jack Frost, come nip me toes. Well, maybe not quite literally, but nonetheless, you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So that'll be the plans. I think that's everything I have to share with you this week. So again, as usual, thank you for spending time with me, allowing me to do this recap of my week past. Take a pause and reset and get ready for the week that lies ahead. If you're interested in a bag from me, please do get in touch. You can get me over on Instagram and on Messenger or on DM on there, or drop me an email. The details are in the Dropbox, not a Dropbox, not at all, in the description box below. So please feel free to reach out. We can have a chat around what you want and costs and what have you. I will generally send anywhere. Just be aware of postage and import duties and the risk of that, in case they apply in your country of origin or country of domicile, wherever you live. Leave comments, please do leave comments. Carol and I always enjoy going through the comments. Great fun reading them, seeing what people are saying. Carol's always appreciating the hellos he gets. He's looking and saying, "Oh, who are these people? How do they know me?" I said, "I talk about you." They're interested. They want to see you. And he said, "Well, that's never going to happen." I said, "All right, I'll keep working on him, don't worry." He might make a fleeting appearance one day, you never know. Anyway, I think that's everything. So, I say, please leave comments and let me know what you're working on while you're watching. It's always interesting to see. It always has me Googling, seeing if I don't know that piece. Would I like to stitch that piece? I maybe don't want to stitch it, but I'll enjoy seeing it. We all have different tastes, but it's always fun. It's fascinating to see what people are stitching on, what you find that you didn't even know existed. It's great fun. Love it. Anyway, I think that's enough rabbiting for me today, so I will say happy stitching to you, wish you a good week, and we shall meet again next Sunday, all being well. Bye.